Have you ever wanted to start something early in life, but got held back by a wrong idea? That's exactly what happened to me with weight training. I got into it when I was around 13, but back then, I kept hearing the same myth over and over: lifting weights stunts your growth. That was enough to keep me away from the gym, even though I was dying to start. Since I couldn't lift weights, I looked for other options. I tried out some sports, stuff that was more accessible and common for my age. I stuck with it for about 2 years, jumping between different sports, but to be honest, I never really connected with any of them. My heart was still in bodybuilding. Even back then, all I really wanted was to lift. Ever been in that spot? Wanting something with all your heart, but being forced down another path? The frustration was real, but it also taught me patience. Sometimes, you just have to wait for the right moment, or find another way to get there. Eventually, I decided to do things my own way. If I couldn't go to the gym, I'd turn my garage into one. No fancy equipment, just whatever I had lying around. Chairs, backpacks filled with stuff, broomsticks. Not ideal, but my drive to train was bigger than any limitation. That's when I started learning everything on my own. I'd spend hours online researching exercises, proper form, even training plans. I'd read forums, watch videos, and figure out how to adapt it all to my situation. That was the start of my self-taught journey, and honestly, I learned a ton doing it. Have you ever tried starting something without the perfect setup? Sometimes what matters most isn't what you've got, but how badly you want it. Bodybuilding truly became part of my life right there, in that garage. Didn't matter how small the space was or how makeshift the setup. I was dead set on getting better. At 16, I finally made it into a real gym. For me, it was like walking into an amusement park, but with dumbbells and barbells instead of rides. The only problem? Along with the excitement came the urge to impress. And that's when I made one of the classic beginner mistakes. I saw this huge guy curling 155 pounds and without thinking asked to jump in. That's 266 pounds, 30 kilograms, plates plus the bar, pro-level stuff. But I wasn't thinking about form or safety. I just wanted to show I could hang. The result? A sloppy, uncontrolled mess of a lift. It's so easy to fall into that trap, especially when you're young and full of ego. That day taught me something big. Trying to match someone way ahead of you can actually hold you back, or worse, get you hurt. The real lesson came later, after a few more stumbles. Over the years, I learned that bodybuilding is way more than just lifting heavy. Today, with better body awareness and technique, I curl around 90 pounds, about 40 kilograms, but with much better form. Sounds like less, right? But now, every rep counts because I'm doing it the right way. Understanding the biomechanics behind each movement changed the game. I could feel the difference. Better muscle activation, fewer injuries, and real results. Just throwing weight around doesn't fool your body. It might trick the mirror or your ego, but not your progress. Your body only responds when you treat it with respect. A lot of people still think the number on the bar is all that matters, but that's a huge mistake. Real progress comes when you get the movement and really feel the muscle working. Now I know, lighter weight with intention beats heavy lifting with bad form every single time. These days, as a coach, I see tons of people making the same mistakes I did, especially guys who hit the gym trying to prove how strong they are. It turns into this quiet competition over who can lift more, while technique and safety get tossed aside. It's super common to see someone loading up way too much weight just because the person next to them is doing it. And what happens? Bad form, higher injury risk, and worst of all, almost no real gains. The need to impress ends up getting in the way of actual progress. The focus shifts from the workout to the ego. Have you ever caught yourself trying to lift more weight just so you wouldn't fall behind? It's more common than you think. But here's the deal. Bodybuilding isn't about competing with the person next to you. It's a personal journey. The only mirror you need to beat is your own. A lot of people think that to build muscle, you just have to slap more weight on the machine. And yeah, progressive overload matters. It's how we challenge our muscles. But the mistake is thinking that's all it takes. Loading too much weight without the right preparation doesn't just slow your gains. It can seriously mess you up. You've got to increase the weight gradually. Your body needs time to adapt to each new level of stress. When you respect that pace, your technique improves, your muscles respond better, and results come in a more solid, lasting way. There's no skipping steps. Your body doesn't have a fast-forward button. So ask yourself, are you patient enough to grow the right way, or are you always in a rush? That's a real question. Rushing is the enemy of quality hypertrophy. Once you understand that, you train smarter, stay injury-free, and build a strong, long-lasting physique. Your rhythm is your best ally. Respect it. Like we said earlier, one of the biggest silent mistakes is feeling embarrassed to lower the weight or share equipment with someone stronger. A lot of people feel pressured to keep the weight high just to avoid looking weak. But that pressure only hurts your performance and your safety. If I could give you 3 tips for your lifting journey, they'd be these. Don't train to impress others. Don't try to keep up with someone who's ahead of you. And don't be ashamed to adjust the workout to your own reality. These might sound simple, but trust me, they make all the difference. The truth is, bodybuilding is personal. Every body reacts differently. Every mind has its own rhythm. And every story is unique. When you try to copy someone else's workout or flex just to be accepted, you drift away from what really matters, your own progress. Worse, you risk injury or burning out along the way. Sometimes, a mindset shift does more for you than switching up your routine. Focus on yourself. Celebrate every small win. And remember, the most important mirror is the one in your own mind. This journey is yours. Make it something you're proud of, not something built on comparisons. If you made it this far, it means you care about growing the right way. And that's what separates someone who just works out from someone who's building a real journey. I hope my experiences help you out, especially if you're just getting started. Trust me, messing up is part of the process, but learning from it is what changes everything. Always train with awareness. It's not about beating others. It's about being better than you were yesterday. Respect your body, be patient with the process, and celebrate every small step forward. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your progress already shows you're on the right path. If this video helped you in any way, hit that like button down below. It tells YouTube the content's worth watching. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. If you want to support the channel even more, become a member and join our community. Drop a comment and tell me which tip hit you the hardest. I'd love to hear your story.